Unless England fans aren't used to this. 4-0! We've got a lot to talk about today. What is up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. England are in the final four in the tournament again. 2 semi-finals in a row. We've got our second opportunity under Gareth Southgate to get to a final of a European competition. We've got to get past Denmark. We have to. That for me is more of a must-win game than we even had against Croatia. In the World Cup, we had nothing to lose. This, we have something to lose. We've got a huge potential of talent. We need to take full account of it. In this video today, I'll go through my thoughts on the game, my chances against Denmark, and what I think about Italy and Spain as well. But if you guys like what you see, please make sure you do give this video a like. It does tremendously help. Please subscribe if you're new. Down to 590 again. We're 10 away from 600 subscribers. If you can push to that, that'd be terrifically appreciative. And please share this channel to as many people as you can. It really helps. But without any further ado, let's go talk about what we saw with Ukraine 0, England 4. So these were the two squads we had. And look at this attack momentum. So England started terrifically well. Obviously, Harry Kane scored the first goal. It was brilliantly done by Raheem Sterling here. He was in a battle with Shaparenko, but he does very, very well to ride his challenge. A terrific through ball pass right through the gap between Zabanani and Krzysztof. But Martienko plays Harry Kane onside, which is why he can get that goal across past Bouchan, which made it 1-0 to England. And we needed that. I said in that stream as well, we wanted an early goal, and Harry Kane literally within a minute later delivers. Now, it was a bit difficult for the rest of that half. I know most of it was from our attack momentum, and we did have a chance. Declan Rice had a volley, which was well saved. Mount couldn't really tuck in the rebound there. But Ukraine frustrated us, and they had a big chance themselves. And we'll talk about our defensive line and our style of play, because Ukraine have showed very, very briefly that there is a fragility there. Kyle Walker gave the ball away very, very cheaply, and it allowed Yarmouk to pretty much run through one-on-one on goal, and he didn't take his chance whatsoever. It was a pretty good save by Pickford, but Yarmouk scuffed his shot completely, so it'll be very, very disappointing. I'll be looking back on that chance thinking if it got to 1-1, maybe things could have been a little bit different. But overall, it was rather comfortable in the end. You know, I didn't make it sound like it, but it felt like that we were really playing below a couple of gears. It did feel a bit too easy, which, you know, definitely feels like an overwhelming scoreline, because I wouldn't say we performed in a way that we deserved to win by 4-0. But we've shown how clinical we are going forward. And I think that is very, very important for the future of England, to show how clinical we are, especially with set pieces. But also, you know, for the fact that we're not playing, you know, probably at our best right now, the fact that we are able to have, you know, a slower performance, you know, just preserving a bit of energy, the fact we're still defensively so organised and we can blow these teams away, it's so encouraging. And obviously in the second half, that's when we scored our 3 goals. Maguire got the second goal, a brilliant free kick by Luke Shaw. Maguire with the header to make it 2-0, giving me flashbacks of when Maguire scored that header against Sweden in the quarterfinal. And then Harry Kane with the 3rd goal. Luke Shaw once again with the assist. And I was very critical of Luke Shaw in that first half. In the second half, he had a lot of success in that left-hand side now, getting the better of Karavev. Jordan Henderson got the 4th goal. He was subbed on for Declan Rice. And legit 6 minutes later, he scores. And it was from a Mason Mount corner. So overall, when we got the 4 goals, I think that is when Ukraine just started just to try and get a little bit more of the ball. But overall, we were so good at the back. And Harry Kane probably should have had a hat-trick. He had an unbelievable volley, which was an unbelievable save by Gorgi Bouchan. But he'll be very, very disappointed, I think, of especially Kane's 2nd goal. I think he should have done a lot better in trying to save that. That's why he's been given a 5.7 rating. So despite making a couple of saves, he probably should have done better with some of the chances England had. So overall, it was not a good night for Ukraine, and I think Shevchenko was showed out with his lack of managerial experience, but also this squad as well. You know, it's a very youthful squad, if you notice, very similar average age to England, and we always talk about how young and full of potential our squad has. So Ukraine are the same, And for me, you know, they should do themselves proud. You know, I don't think they're really going to have a chance. But what they did well was the 20 to 40 minute period where they kept England quiet. But apart from that 20 minutes, they were really, really struggling. And defending wise, it was a little bit shocking, I won't lie. But now let's talk about these stats. So expected goals 1.98. Quite unbelievably, we've scored 4 goals, but only with 1.98, which means we're not a team that creates too many chances, noticed by the XG. But look at Ukraine's only 0.26 in 90 minutes is very, very poor showing. Possession was close, and I think that was Ukraine's plan, trying to outpossess England just to try and keep them off the ball. But eventually, once we had the shots, we did well. And one of the rare occasions, England have actually outshot the opposition. 10 shots there, 6 shots on target. And of course, Bouchan made 2 pretty good saves. So obviously, with those 4 other shots on target, there were goals. But Bouchan, you know, could have stopped it, making it 6-0, which I think was going to be the biggest margin of a victory in the quarterfinal stage. I could be wrong on that, though. 2 shots on target to 1 there, 4 block shots there. 4 big chances, and with 8 inside of the box for England, 2 there, 3. Now, in the first half, if I'm right in saying, yes, look at that. They had 3 shots inside the box compared to our 4. So in the second half, Ukraine didn't have a single shot in the box, which shows how much they struggled in that second half. 4 shots outside the box, Ukraine actually did a bit more from that, which just goes to show how frustrated they were and how good England were at the back in preventing them from getting into those good areas. 2 saves each for Pickford and Bouchan to make. We just about outpassed them, 622, 569 on the accurate passes, 91% to 89% there. Long balls, look at that, 58% success rate compared to the 41% for Ukraine. So definitely looking a bit direct with the crosses and the long balls there. But what's important is the success rate. Look at that, only 1 successful cross out of 6 from Ukraine. We've had 8 and 5 of them were successful, and that really shows the difference. It's practice from the training pitch, but also good work from our end in terms of the attacking players to get a header on it. 17 tackles, so Ukraine did well when trying to limit us at times, but unfortunately they just needed to do about 50 tackles to stop England because we just had the ball so much. I think with those tackles from Ukraine, in fact they did tackle a lot more than us, that's why the possession was a little bit more even in that one. But if you notice, we did the same amount of interceptions, but we did more successful clearances. Those 4 clearances, you know, from Ukraine that they were missing, could have been those 4 goals from England. And that's the difference. You know, you've got to be defensively switched on 24/7. So these are the stats covered. Let's go through player ratings now. So Jordan Pickford, I think I'm right in saying the first time a goalkeeper from England has kept 5 successive clean sheets in the tournament since Gordon Banks, of course, England in 1966. I'm going to give him maybe a 6 because I was a bit scared of what he did at times. You know, there was one time where he got out his goal and Ukraine could have punished us there. And I think against a better team like a Spain or an Italy, they would have punished us. Kyle Walker, for me, was actually one of the worst players on the pitch. I wasn't too impressed. Of course, he had that mistake and it nearly punished England for it. We were a little bit lucky there. And even in the second half as well, he wasn't really having a lot of success. Michaelenko in that position was actually doing very, very well to keep that side in check. I'm going to say 5 for Kyle Walker. John Stones, he did what he needed to do. I'm going to say standard 6. Harry Maguire with that goal, 7. Harry Maguire is proving to have an incredible tournament for me. Luke Shaw, first half performance 5, but second half performance a 9. So I think now average it out to maybe an 8. An 8 for Luke Shaw. He was absolutely brilliant in that second half to get 2 assists to the goals. His crossing and his free kicks, we've got to use Luke Shaw for that. Declan Rice, I'm going to say a 6, was pretty quiet. Calvin Phillips, 5.5. You know, one thing that I noticed, when Henderson came on for Rice, we were playing a lot more of the ball, and Bellingham on for Phillips as well. England had a lot more success going forward. If you see this big blue spike area here, that, you know, is not only when we scored the other 2 goals, but England going forward looked so dangerous. And I think that's because these 2 defensive midfielders, you know, when you convert one of them to a holding midfielder or an attacking midfielder, you're going to have a lot more success going forward and getting more service to the front 4. So that is why England looked a bit better there. But Phillips, 5.5. But I think one of them in the future definitely needs to be a bit more advanced because there was so much sideways passing, especially with Phillips and Rice, back down to Walker, then Stones, then Maguire, then John Stones again, then Maguire, then Pickford and all of that. There was a good 60 minutes of that. But if we cut that down and we utilised it more with attack, then I think we'll be better against the better teams. Sancho, I know he's been given a 6.8, but I think that's harsh. I think that's a 7. I think a 7's more generous. Raheem Sterling, 7 again. I think about the same as Sancho. Had moments of good quality of dribbling into the box and going into the box quite successfully as well. But not necessarily had the final pass or the end product. But Sterling did well. In fact, for that first goal for Raheem Sterling, for the way he set that up, I'm actually going to say 7.5. Mason Mount, 6 for me. I was a bit frustrated with Mount. There was a couple of occasions where he was in the box. And if he had a better touch, he definitely would have had a good chance. He also had a blocked shot as well. I think if he actually was a bit quicker there, he definitely would have got an opportunity. But overall, he did get an assist for the Jordan Henderson goal. It was a great corner by Mount. So yeah, overall 6. Maybe that's a bit harsh. Maybe 6.5. And Harry Kane, I've got to say 9. 9 for Harry Kane. What a difference he has looked already. You know, we were really starting to contemplate, you know, if Harry Kane was just being distracted with things outside of football and just he was not going to be the same striker that he was. But he's responded in a big way. Since that goal against Germany, you know, he's now scored 3 goals in this tournament. He's only 2 goals behind Schick and Ronaldo. Of course, Schick's just left the tournament, so now he's a golden boot contender. Lukaku's left the competition as well, so he can have a really good chance if he can score a couple against Denmark, of course. So Harry Kane could potentially, right at the very end, try and sneak in for golden boot, quite unbelievably, from going 3 consecutive group stage games without scoring a goal. But he was brilliant. His movement was great. You know, he was a lot more advanced. You know, there was times where he was tracking back a bit, you know, which frustrated me a bit. But overall, he stayed around, was waiting for the service, and when he got it, he took his chance. And he was very unlucky not to get a hat-trick, actually. So, really impressed with Kane. 9 out of 10 for me. And for the manager, I've got to say a 9 as well. I've been really impressed, actually, with his substitutions. And with those core group of players, he's going to have so much pressure on his hands, Southgate. And I know everyone does have the chance to criticise when England don't do anything well. But when England do well, they will definitely sing his name. And one thing I will say, if England win Euro 2020, I will sing Southgate, You're the One on a live stream or a video. And I promise you, it'll be a full bloated, full operatic version. So you've heard it here first. I won't dye my hair, but I'll sing Southgate, You're the One and scare you lot away with his singing voice. But overall, that's literally what England winning does to you. It makes you happy, it makes you positive, it's a good feeling. And after a really tough couple of years for everyone, this I think has come at a very, very crucial time for England. And I've been so impressed. I mean, in fact, before I actually move on, I forgot to actually rate the substitutions. Trippier, when he came on, I'm going to say a 5, he didn't do too much for me. Henderson, I'm going to say 7 for that goal. I think he's going to get a 7, and I've been questioning Henderson. Bellingham, 7 as well. He looks so comfortable in the ball for his age, and he's just turned 18 as well. Rashford, to be fair, when he came on for Sterling, I actually think he did okay. I say rather around the same as Sterling, maybe a little bit less since he didn't have as much time, so maybe a 6.5. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin didn't really do too much. I probably won't give him a rating. So, overall, England winning, to reiterate, does make people happy, and it's really made people happy at the very, very crucial time as well. We're now 2 games away from the final. We are. Well, actually, we've only got 1 team in the way. We're 2 games away from potentially winning the tournament. So that is unbelievable. So the final, we're going to guarantee either going to have Spain or Italy. And if England go through against Denmark, that will probably be our toughest game. Spain, obviously, are scoring a lot more goals now, although based on their performances recently, and they've had 2 consecutive matches go to extra time, you don't really would back them against an Italy side who looks so solid and can definitely score a couple of goals as well. I would think at the moment, the best way to predict the final would be Italy, and God, I'm going to regret saying this, but I'm going to say Italy and England final. But Denmark is no way an easy opponent. We have played against Denmark twice recently in the Nations League, and we have not managed to beat them. We drew away at their place. But at Wembley, if you remember right, it was when Harry Maguire got a very early red card and England lost out 1-0 to a Christian Eriksen penalty. But Harry Kane missed so many chances. And it'll go on for one of the games that haunts England and Gareth Southgate. It was one of the really few defeats that England have had under Southgate. Now, I really hope when we go against Denmark, we go through with this back 4. We really attack Denmark as well. Their strength is their fullbacks as well. Mæhle, with that cross for the second goal for Denmark, was honestly incredible. And Dolberg, you know, was given that opportunity on the play. It was a great volley as well. But Mæhle is definitely one of the players you've got to look out for as well. Schmeichel's going to be tough to beat in goal. Christensen is good at the back as well, with care as well. It's a really good partnership Denmark have. So, likes of Harry Kane, Mount if he starts, Sterling if he starts, I think Sterling will start. And maybe Sancho may be replaced by either Foden or Saka if he can return from injury. They're all going to really up their game. It's really going to be interesting because I think Denmark are good at the back. But they were susceptible to a Patrick Schick goal, of course. So, defensively, I don't think they're as strong as England. But going forward, I do think, basically on the counter-attack, they are very, very strong in that. And whilst I do criticise the system a little bit, I think the fact it's so defensive, so pragmatic, it does give a lot of England players some numbers in case Denmark would go out and counter-attack. So I actually think Denmark may struggle to beat England via the counter-attack because we don't really concede those chances on the counter-attack. It's been very, very few occasions where a team has successfully gone through and had a chance on the counter-attack because of our negative style. We would have 2 or 3 players back that would be able to stop the players or intercept one of their passes. So overall, I think to beat England, you've got to really be patient on their defence and just tire them out. And you just got to make sure that you keep their front four quiet. And I don't think that's too difficult. So overall, really impressed with England. I'm really loving this sort of football here. 2 games away from winning the tournament, 1 game away from the final. I'm nowhere saying that England will win the tournament as of yet, but beat Denmark, you know, we'll take Italy odd staying on. I'll just be so happy that in my lifetime, I would see England get through to a final of a major European tournament. For the first time in my lifetime as well. So this could be an incredible couple of days coming up as England fans. But I think I'll wrap it up for my reaction. Let me know, guys, what you thought on the game in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give the video a like. It does help. Please subscribe if you do. It really helps the channel. And please share this channel to as many people as you can. It really, really helps. But now I'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw any of this video. And as always, I'll see you guys very, very soon.